going to get it right. And everybody, Archie Elliott, 14 times they shot him in Prince George's County. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing to the podium now, Melanie Campbell, President of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation.
No justice! No justice! I can't breathe! We can't breathe! Black lives matter! All lives matter! I want to thank Reverend Sharpton for your leadership and your lifetime commitment to justice for all people, for our people. You have been there for the families of the victims of police killings and brutality for decades. I'm going to age myself, but I can remember way back in the 1990s, you were there for the family of Philip Pinnell from Englewood, New Jersey. Any New Jerseyans in the house? Who was killed unjustly by police. You have always been there for our community. When the cameras were off, more times than when the cameras were on. You are our go-to guy. You fight to the end, and we love you. So I want you to repeat after me. We love you, Reverend Sharpton. We love you, Reverend Al. All I want to say, as we stand here today, we can look behind and we can see the Congress. Y'all see that white building back there? We're here today in solidarity with all the families representing Black Women's Roundtable and Black Youth Vote. We're here to pledge to the families that we're committed to stand in solidarity with you until justice is served. We need Congress to do their job. President Obama, Attorney General Eric Holder, they're doing their jobs, but they can't do it alone from a federal level. We need Congress to act and end police brutality and excessive force. I have two brothers standing beside me that I'm going to let spend a little bit of my time, one from a faith perspective, and that's my pastor, Reverend Tony Lee. And I have my brother, Sherman Justice, who spoke earlier with Black Youth Vote standing in solidarity to close us out. Thank you, and I love you. Tony.
My brothers and my sisters, I come today to tell you that we have got to call this United States of America into a sense of repentance. You've got to understand that in Micah the word says that what does the Lord require of you but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. And we have got to call this nation not just to talk justice, but to do justice. Not just to act justice, but to do justice. Not just to fake justice, but to do justice. And if it won't do justice, we'll shut this sucker down. Is there anybody here who says this nation will do justice? So we cannot stop until justice rolls. No justice? No justice?
Now welcome the head of the National Urban League, my main man, Marc Morial.
No justice? No justice? No justice? I want to thank Reverend Al Sharpton and the entire team at the National Action Network, but also thank the labor organizations, civil rights organizations, the young people, a big round of applause, the young people who stood up. This day has been a day where some will ask, why do we march? We march because of Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Akai Gurley, John Crawford, LeVar Jones, and Marlene Pinnock. But we also march today for the many people not named today who've been victims of police violence across the nation. We march today because it is our right as Americans to redress the grievances that we have. We march today because we are united black and white and brown and Asian. We are united, young and old. We are united to say it is time for change. We want justice, and we want it now. A generation ago, or many generations ago, the death of Emmett Till, the bombing of the 4 girls in Birmingham in the 16th Street Baptist Church, the death of Schwerner, Goodman, and Cheney, young people who gave a summer to go and register people to vote down in Mississippi, awakened the conscience of a nation. That awakening spurred a people's movement of unprecedented proportions. And that people's movement knocked down the walls of segregation, passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. I am outraged by the grand jury decisions in Ferguson and in Staten Island, but I'm even more outraged by the prosecutors who mismanaged those grand juries. And that is why this movement cannot be a movement without objectives. And so I want to just share with you 10 action steps for police reform and police accountability that each of you must bring back to your local community, and we will advocate for in all 50 states of the nation. Number 1, we want widespread use of body cameras and dashboard cameras in every police department in this nation. We want an end to broken windows police strategies and the implementation of 21st century community policing strategies. We want a uniform deadly force policy that's transparent and understood by all police departments across the nation. We want all police officers to be comprehensively retrained to learn how community policing should work, to develop relationships between police and the communities they serve. We want, where appropriate, special prosecutors to be appointed to investigate police misconduct, because the relationship between local police and local prosecutors is too close for them to always be fair and impartial. We want the FBI to create a clear and transparent reporting system for lethal force incidents involving all law enforcement anywhere in the nation. And we want a national database of citizen complaints against the police. We also want a national police accreditation system, which for those departments that don't meet this accreditation, they are ineligible to receive federal dollars. And we want this Congress that meets behind us, to pass a national, comprehensive anti-racial profiling law. No one based on race, color, creed, religion, national origin, or gender orientation should be profiled by the police. So we've come today to rally, come today to stand with these families. But brothers and sisters and ladies and gentlemen, we've come today because today is not an end, but a new beginning. The new beginning of a movement for justice in this nation. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. Hands up.
The next speaker is the new president and CEO of the NFL, Cornell Brooks.
No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. Hands up! A little while ago, we left worn stones, on a plaza, marching toward polished marble of the U.S. Capitol. And along this route, a little over a mile, we marched together. Jew and Gentile, black and white, Catholic and Protestant, gay and straight, Latino and Asian, we marched together. We, the people, marched together. We marched together a little over a mile because the distance between these 2 points is a measure of our determination. It's a measure of our commitment. It's a measure of our resolve, because we believe all lives matter. Every child matters. Every citizen matters. All of our children matter. We have been asked the question, why march? Why us? We march because when we see our children go out day in and day out, profiled, born suspect, we march because when you have 1 out of every 4 African American young men being mistreated at the hands of the police in any given month, we march. We march when young African American men are 21 times more likely to lose their lives at the hands of the police. We march. We march because we believe in our children, we care for our children, we claim our children, and yes, we will protect our children. You ask, why do we march? When we conducted a journey for justice from Michael Brown's hometown to the hometown of Governor Jay Nixon, 134 miles across the length and breadth of Missouri, we marched. We marched because all of our children matter. We marched, and we will yet march again. When you ask, why do we march? I answer in the words of a civil rights leader from the last century who said, we will march until hell freezes over. And when it does, we will march on the ice. Some pose the question, why us? Some say it's not your children being profiled, not your children born suspect. But I simply say to you that if you've ever held a child in your arms, if you've ever held a baby in your arms, you know that that child's name is not Democrat or Republican. The child is not called by the name of the Urban League or the NAACP. That child's name is known by God, and every child matters. We march together because we care about our children. When I came to the NAACP, my youngest son was the same age as Emmett Till when he was killed, 14 years of age. And my oldest son was 17 years of age, the same age as Trayvon Martin when he was killed. I march because of my children. We march because of our children. We stand together because of our children. And so I say to you this afternoon, that as we march, let us be mindful of that great hymn of freedom. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Let us march on, let us march on, let us march on till victory is won. One for every child, one for every citizen, one for every person that is a member of this republic. Let us march for our children.